Hello and good Friday to you. Welcome to Father's Talk for today, April the 23rd. I want to give a shout out as we're beginning here to my younger brother, TJ Titus Hague. He had his birthday on this past week, so I want to remember him and also recognize anyone else who had a birthday here recently. God bless you. Hopefully, it was great and wonderful to add another year. So, as you can see, today's title is How Do You Want to Be Known? And really today, going to take some time and look at and focus upon you already having a predetermination of who you are, who you want to be, so that going forward, you won't be surprised with the decisions you'll have to make in different situations. So you'll already know how to respond, how you're going to respond, what kind of position you're going to put yourself into so you can succeed. So when it comes to being a father, are you going to be a cool dad? Not a lot of stuff bothers you. You're relaxed. You just take it as it comes. You deal with just what life brings, whether it's from your kids, from the job, just relationships within your community and neighborhood. And just, are you going to be that laid back dad? Are you going to be that overly excitable dad? These are the types of decisions and laying out and understanding, okay, who do I want to be? How do I want to be known? You have to make a predetermination into the type of person that you're going to be and not allow situations to dictate who you are or how you're going to respond. Because as we've seen here in the past year, just dealing with COVID and the pandemic, can you say that the person that I strive to be, the person that I want to be, the person that I desire to be, when all this hit, when all this came down and happened, I have been that same person all throughout everything that's going on with COVID-19, with the pandemic, with the restrictions? Or have I changed? Have I become someone else? Has having to spend so much time at home, in or around or with my family, with my kids, has that changed me? Not being able to go out, has that affected or influenced me and caused me to become someone or something that I really don't want to identify with? This is why it's important to have that confidence and that assurity in who you are ahead of time, so that when things happen, when things pop off, when the unexpected comes, it doesn't shake you so much that you become somebody else, that you move in a direction that normally you wouldn't be prone to. So who do you want to be? Literally, maybe it's time that we sat down and within ourselves started to look at, okay, who am I? Where am I? And what am I becoming? Am I the type of person that I want other people to gravitate towards me because of the way that I live, the way that I talk, the way that I handle myself, carry myself on the job, when I'm out in public? These are the types of questions we need to be asking ourselves and determining, okay, even if it's right now what I see about myself, maybe I really don't like where I am right now. And there's some changes that I know that I need to make as far as how I'm living, what I'm doing. Is this really good? Is this going to have a positive and lasting effect within my family life, within my inner circle, those friends and those people that are close to me and who I can confide in and who I want to spend time with? Is this helping? Is the person that I am helping to foster greater and deeper relationships, or am I pushing people away? But the thing is, do I want to push them away? I have to know who I am. And the other thing is, I have to be comfortable with myself. So the decisions that I make going forward, and even looking back, how do I value my decision-making process? How do I determine what's going to bring about the best form of me? Am I the type that I need to be surrounded by a whole bunch of people? And the thing is, these are questions that truly only you can answer, but you have to be really, really ready and honest with yourself in asking these questions. do I need to be surrounded by a whole bunch of people, or do I need to keep a small core group that I'm comfortable with, that I feel like I can trust these individuals with my life in pretty much every single aspect and area? Is sharing with them going to encourage them to stay close to me, or is sharing with them going to cause them to drift away and not want to continue to have that friendship or that relationship, regardless of what it is, whether it's family member, whether it's child, whether it's a spouse, whether it's somebody on the job? What is it that I'm bringing to them that is encouraging, or am what I bringing to them discouraging, but does it need to be? Because there are some people who you come across and who you deal with, they just have a whole bunch of yes people in their corner. And so they're used to people just literally bowing down and surrendering and giving them whatever they want, which in all honesty may not even be right for that person. But sometimes it's like people don't understand that. People don't go with that. And so that can have an effect on them that may honestly be necessary. So it's really about being true to yourself and being comfortable within your own skin. Who are you? Do you even know who you are? If people were to actually take and you were to approach them, and people you know, and they were to describe you, would their description of you fit the image that you have of yourself? Would it reflect the same thing? Would it be along the same lines? Or would how you think and how you view yourself be so distant and so far from how other people view you? Are you on two different pages? So is it that here's how I think of myself, but then here's where I actually am, and they're not coinciding. They're not in agreement. They haven't connected. So we really need to take the time and look at, who is it that I am? Who is it that I'm becoming? Is this the type of person that I want to be? Because if it's not, then I need to start making some changes. And here's another just harsh bit of reality. Am I willing? Am I willing to make change? Am I willing to become someone that I really desire to be? Or am I just caught up and just, well, I'm such and such age. I mean, I turned 46 back in March, and you know what? I know there are still areas that I need to develop, and there's still some character traits within myself. I like me. Me and me are cool. I'm cool with myself. I can agree with me in most of the things that I do, but there are those times that I look back at myself and I'm like, yeah, we need to stop that, and we need to move in another direction. We need to retool some of the things that we're doing. And I'm talking really first and second person about myself, but that's just truth. That's just honesty. There are things that we may catch about ourselves and be like, you know what? That's really not a good habit. Maybe it's time that I look to change something about that, change that. Maybe it's time that I looked at doing things differently, because we can't be so singularly minded that the only thing we see is where we are right now, and basing ourselves in that moment. In this moment, this is who I have to be. Really? We have to make a determination. We have to establish. We have to come to an agreement within ourselves so that, okay, here's what people see. Am I good with that? Because if I'm good with that, I need to push forward and continue in that direction. And one of the biggest people that get influenced with this, when they see consistency of nature, consistency of habits, consistency of attitude, it's our children. Children respond mostly favorably where there's consistency. Believe it or not, when you have children on a set schedule, they respond well to it. So when you show them consistent behavior, consistent attitude, even consistent speech, it affects them and it influences them. And sometimes they can even recognize consistency as a form of caring. That yes, you acted up. Guess what? I got to get you. Because if I don't get you, you're just going to continue this behavior and it's going to get worse. So let me nip this thing in the bud now. Let me punish you however that punishment has to come. And I'm going to do it in a loving manner. I'm not going to just beat the tar out of you just to beat the tar out of you. So knowing that consistency, it affects and it influences our children. It also has a great effect upon our loved ones, our spouses, primarily and mainly. They know when you jump out the box all of a sudden because something different or something unexpected happened, they're like, whoa, hey, who is this? What is this? This ain't like you. You don't normally behave like this. This is uncharted waters, new territory. Why are you flipping, man? Why are you tripping, man? Why are you going off the deep end? And they'll reflect upon that because you're showing them through your care, through your actions, through your attitude, through your speech on a daily basis, even through your body language, where you're at. And especially when things aren't favorable, they realize it, they know it, they can recognize it. The other thing is we have to know that people see stuff on us, whether or not we see it upon ourselves. So as we're going along, as we're just honestly, as we're living, people are watching and they're marking the type of person that we are. Why? Because it's going to affect and influence them concerning how they respond to us. Because I know that for me, and I'm using myself as an example here, there are people that I have been befriended on the job, and there are certain things that they won't bring to me because of my characteristics, my habits, and my nature. Because not all of it agrees with the type of lives that they choose to live. And so we have to understand that people are individuals. People are people. They're not going to be exactly like us. They're going to do things, even if there are a lot of similarities that we may share with others, they're still going to branch off, be their own person, do their own thing, live their own lives. Why? Because they're not you. People aren't always going to line up exact with us, with how we do things. And just because we have a vision in a way that we see that, okay, this is how we're going forward, this is how we're going to do things, this is how things are going to be. So like one of the biggest things my wife and I did, not only early on, but we continue to do this. It's a thing that we do constantly, is that we connect and we come to areas and levels of agreement in how our family is going to advance and push forward. We're agreed on, okay, here's what's good for our family. Here's what's not good for our family. Here's what I feel we should be doing. That's going to help and benefit and bring us all closer together. What kinds of activities, how we want to spend our time, what we want to do to encourage the children, fostering good relationships and the ability to flow and communicate with them openly and honestly. These are the types of things that we need to discuss and share and talk about. And so we not only sit down and talk about the things that we want to do, but also we talk about the things that we don't want to do, how we prefer not to be seen in handling and dealing with our kids and dealing with life situations and going forward and allowing things to come up and come before our kids, before our family. How can we protect them? How can we shield them? How can we help them to see things for themselves so they'll know how to react and respond to situations as they come? And so these talks are almost endless. They're always, it's progressive. They're always coming. There are always new things to be discussed. So we have to take the time and identify within ourselves, okay, here's how we want to handle this. Here's how we want to go about this. Here's how we want to tackle this. These are the things that's going to help us in charting our course through new and unfounded territories. This is how we build bigger, better, and stronger relationships, by predetermination. Sometimes you just have to know that, okay, here's what we agreed to. So here's where we're going to take our stand. We're not going to allow things to move us. We're not going to allow things to make us contrary to what we're believing. And this also helps to build confidence. Confidence from your mate, confidence from your children, confidence from your family. Why? Because they see consistency. They see you being the person that not only you say that you are, but then your actions and your behavior demonstrates that same thing back to them. So they can become reliant upon the nature that you show them. That this is really me. This is really and truly who I am. And so they can stand knowing that, hey, this is who he says he is. And here's everything that they've shown me to back up this behavior. Because words can be used with the best or the illest of intent. But those actions, that's really what people hang their hats on. That's when they make those connections. Okay, he says this is how he wants to do things, but then when I watch him, this is how he does things. So what happens? I feel like I can't take him at his word. I feel like I can't trust what he's saying. I feel like I can't really identify with where they're trying to go. Why? Because you're saying one thing, but then those actions seem to go in a completely different direction. It's almost like everything is getting lost because there's the lack of consistency. That's the best and biggest means of when people feel like they can trust you, when they see repeated behavior, patterns associated to who you are and how you do things, how you carry yourself on a daily, let me emphasize that again, how you carry yourself on a daily basis. So am I the same person that I am at home, or am I different when I get out in public? Am I the same person that I am at home, or am I different when I get out on the job? Am I the same person when I'm going after and reaching and trying to achieve my own dreams as I am when I'm in the company of others? Who am I? What different types of things can people, if people just listed stuff concerning you, what kind of things would be on those lists? And then would you approve of what they have down on those lists? Would you say, yeah, that's me, that's me? Or would you be like, that ain't me? Or is it because of the viewpoint that you have of yourself, you would say that's not you, but really between your actions and your attitude, that's really and truly the person that you are? How honest can we be with ourselves? Can we truly identify whether good or bad, positive or negative, up or down? What is it about you that makes you tick? And is it drawing people? Is it pushing people away? And then do you really want to be somebody known as having those specific characteristics? Do you desire to be, some people desire to be loners. They really only want to have just a handful of people in their life and they're good. That's all they need. They're not looking for, let's just say it like this, social acceptance, which is what makes social media so powerful. The fact that people are looking for others to like, to support, to agree with them, which are why so many people are a part of so many different forms of social media. Honestly, some people are so attached to social media that they spend almost as much time on social media as they do sleeping, as they do eating, as they do working on their jobs. Why? That connection. That connection. They want people to like, to subscribe, to endorse, to promote. So they go to those means. Why? Because they can reach more people this way. And if they post something, they're like, come on, you see it, you like it, go ahead, check that thing off. And then you know what? Send it to somebody else, see if they'll like it, and make those connections. And then all of a sudden now my name is out there. But are you showing yourself in a way and in a light that truly is good to you, that you feel like, you know what, I can get behind this? And that's where we have to start determining the type of person I am. Good or bad, happy, sad. Who do I want to be? What type of person do I want to be? What types of things do I want identifying with me? It's almost like somebody in the military, and for every courageous act or deed, going above and beyond, or just consistency in actions and behavior, what happens? You could say you level up, or you get promoted, you go from rank to rank. And after a while, after so long, you begin to see those people that when they wear their uniforms, they've got all kinds of basically those pins, those bars. That's recognition. That's people identifying you have demonstrated and shown this behavior. So here's this pin, or here's this bar or stripe. So they're being identified and recognized for their actions, for how they have consistently dealt with people and situations. And so how are we? Are there badges that we could wear? Are there achievements in life that people would say, yeah, that is you. That's the type of person that you are. And are we proud of it? Because honestly, if we're not proud of it, let's start making the change. Why wait? Why wait another? Oh, well, we've gotten thus far into 2021. We don't have to be stuck in a negative loop just because time doesn't stop moving. Just because, well, you know, we're in April, we've got through almost the first third of the year. So I've already started the year like this. Okay, stop it. You don't have to continue to persist in that way. You can become new man, new woman, new individual. You can grow, you can develop, you can change your attitude, change your nature, change your practices. Scientifically, they say it takes 3 weeks, 21 days to establish something as a habit. So by consistently doing something over the next 21 days, you could establish within yourself new habits, new fortitude, new actions, new speech, new ways of dealing with people and situations. Literally 21 days, you can make a brand new you. Believe that? You could take 21 days and make a brand new you. If you see something about yourself that you don't like, make a determination. You know what? That's not really the characteristics that I want to portray. What can I do to change this? How can I graduate from this place and move to the next? How do I need to analyze and view myself? Where do I need to literally make change? So that this life that I'm living, that it's a good life, that it's a favorable life, and that I'm proud to live it because I like what I'm doing. I like where I'm going. I like the person that I am. I like what I'm coming into. I like what I've gotten out of, what I've left behind, how I've progressed and moved forward. how I'm not locked in and locked down. And the only way I can exist is by being known as this same person all the time. Let's go and let's grow. Let's get up, grow up, and be the people we truly are meant to be. Why let people and situations shackle us because they've always seen us one way? And it's like, you know what? I don't like that about myself. Here, prime example, me again. So as a kid, you can honestly say there were two characteristics that were very strong about me. I was overly serious about everything. Everything. It didn't matter what it was, especially when it came to sports and activities. I was aggressively serious. Like I thought I was a professional athlete. Even for the kids on the block, when we played kickball or wiffle ball or tag, hide and go seek, whatever it was that we were doing, shoot, I kept stats. Sincerely, I was so serious that it was to the point, even when I was in the second grade, my second grade teacher called home because she wasn't sure if this is really who they are. And as a kid, I mean, when I say I was serious to the point that school was like business. I carried a briefcase. I used to want to wear suits. Often. It was part of my makeup. But the thing is, I didn't feel bad about it. I mean, serious in classroom contests, had a third grade teacher, Ms. Samuels, and she used to encourage students to learn. We used to get strengthened in our multiplication and division tables by having a classroom competition. She'd start at one person's desk, you'd move to the person's desk behind you, and you'd both stand up. She'd pull out a flashcard, and it would be, okay, whoever could say it first. 4 times 9, 36. Okay, so whoever said it first would be the person to move on to the next desk. And so she did that to encourage us, but I took it seriously. And I was one of 3 students in that class who had done it so well because the whole goal was to move from your desk, and she would stop when a student moved around the entire classroom. And so we had bonus points that we would get for getting A's on assignments and doing certain different things in the classroom. And once you got up to 30, you would get different rewards. And then what we didn't know is that because there were 3 of us in the classroom, we had gotten awarded enough that she took us out to, before it was Chuck E. Cheese, it was Showbiz. So we went out to Showbiz Pizza on her. She paid for everything. And we just had a good time. And just, again, it was just the type of child that I was. I was serious. And there are moments still as an adult, I'll get serious on you. And sometimes people will look at me and be like, what's wrong? No, I'm paying attention. I'm really engaged in what's going on. So you will see this look of sincerity, of seriousness, of dogmatic expression, of intensity. But again, I'm okay with that because I know that is a part of me. And I have no problems showing or sharing that. Why? Because to me, that lets people know that I'm paying attention. That lets people know that I'm really into what I'm doing, that I am really careful concerning what's going on around me. And the moment that I'm in, I'm all the way in. I mean, I'll have those moments even sometimes when I'm relaxing and I'm watching something on TV or watching a movie. And I'll just fully become engrossed in what I'm doing to the point that I kind of block off and shut off other things. So just more than anything else, know who you are. And with knowing who you are, Make sure that you're okay with the person that you are, because there's no point in allowing other people to talk to you about your nature, your actions, and your behavior, looking at you like, okay, you're going to do something about this. You're going to change this. If you're okay with you, be okay with yourself. It's just like if you were going to get your hair done and somebody in a stylist or a barber was trying to tell you, oh, you look good with this. And it's like, I don't want that. No, don't do my hair. Like, I don't want that. Or you go to a restaurant and you come in and you're like, yeah, I have a good idea what I want. Matter of fact, here's what I want. But they're just determined to tell you, no, you need to get this. It's like, no, I came here. Here's what I want. Serve me this. Go tell the chef, prepare this. That's what I want to eat. I know you like this. You can recommend that. That's fine. But I don't want it. And we have to be careful of ourselves in that regard, because people have the best and sometimes the purest of intent, but they can totally and completely be wrong. Why? Because not everything is for us. And when we understand and we know the person that we are, things won't affect us. Things won't move us. We can stand strengthened and encouraged by the decisions and the determinations that we've already made concerning ourselves. And the other thing is, when we have predetermined and said, this is the person that I'm going to be. When we walk with purpose, what other people bring our way will not move us, will not change us, will not sway us, will not cause us to get lost. Because sometimes people just want to see how much influence they can have over you, how much they can try to change you or get you to adopt to doing things their way. Again, people sometimes have the purest of intent. And then sometimes people are manipulative. They're people. And sometimes they want to set things up so they can take advantage of a situation. It's not really about hurting you, but I just want to be benefited the most myself, taking care of me. And the thing is that we have to learn and be confident in is the way that I carry myself, the way that I take care of myself is going to be better than the way that other people take care of me, that other people deal with me. Because I'll share this with you. If people see that you're the type of person that will run themselves ragged for somebody else, watch and see. Watch and see if those people don't start carrying out that same action and activity towards you. Because why? They see that you're a caring soul, or they see that you're an active person. And it's like, oh, they're willing to run around for them like that? Well, shoot, maybe they'll do that for me too. Maybe they'll make that exception concerning myself, and I can get them to do this for me and that for me and help me out in this kind of way. And then what happens? You end up getting lost in the shuffle. You end up getting taken advantage of. You end up with somebody seriously abusing you. That's why we have to establish for ourselves these boundaries, these areas, these limits on what we'll accept from others. Why? Because I know the person that I am. So everything's not good for me. Every person is not good for me. Every situation is not necessarily good for me. There are things that are going to help me, aid me, and strengthen me. I need to move in that direction. But those things that hurt me, disable me, disinterest me, I need to move away from those things. I need to put myself, again, the saying that we have here in our household, give yourself every opportunity to succeed. So if I know that I am this type of person, I need to restrict myself, refrain from seeing these certain other types of activities. I need to prevent certain things from just coming upon me. Now, you can't always block everything, But you have the right that when certain things come, no, I don't want that. I don't, I don't want to associate with that. That's not me. Know you. And be careful concerning yourself. Because people will push and pull and sometimes have no regard for how you truly personally feel. And that's when the abuse comes. That's when the misuse comes. That's when being taken for granted comes. So be prepared sometimes to just tell people no. 2 letters which hold a lot of power. And unfortunately, people will test you just like your kids. You can tell your kids, I don't want you to do that. Don't do that. No. But if they feel like, oh, ain't serious, they're going to go right back to that thing. And if you wait, if you allow them to continue, they're like, I know they said no, but they don't really mean it. So I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing until they present it to me in such a way, shape, form, and fashion that it's like, oh, they ain't playing. All right, I'm putting it down and I'm backing away. I'm moving myself from that. I'm headed in a different direction. When people know that you are sincere and you are serious concerning what you said to them, they will let that thing go and move away. They will not hold on to what they're trying to do to you. Why? Because they see and they hear the fact that you're not going to tolerate that. You're not going to accept that. Again, going right back to that consistency of character. When you show them, I am serious and I'm not to be moved in this area, they will come to understand that. They may not agree with it, but they will come to understand it. And sometimes that's all you can do is make somebody understand where you are, whether or not they want to agree with it. So you have to do things in light of being strengthened, sometimes to be your own individual person, because there's going to come that time, that situation where it's like, you know what? I can't go with everybody else. I can't move in the same direction that everybody else is moving in. That I have to see and purpose for myself, for my betterment. That this is something that I'm not going to tolerate. This is something that I'm not going to accept. This is something that is not going to take a hold of me, not going to be a part of me, not going to be surrounding me. And sometimes that also means, you know what? I might have to let go of people. Yep, I said it. Sometimes that means you might have to let go of some relationships. I don't care if they family. Every family member doesn't have you at their heart. You might be related by blood, but sometimes they treat you like dirt. And why is that acceptable? They can do, say, and be anything concerning you, but you can't be that way towards them, or you can't have an opinion concerning the. Move away. Let it go. Don't associate. Vacate. You've got to understand and you've got to know what's going to empower you, what's going to help you, what's going to benefit you. And sometimes people will say they have your back, but they don't. They say they're in your corner, but they're not. And that's why it's so necessary to be comfortable with ourselves. Because not everybody is going to like us, and not everybody is going to like even being around us. So how difficult does it become then to press and to move forward, thinking that you're bringing these people along with you, but they're not really in support. They're not really there with you. They may have been there in times past, but sometimes we have to understand that not every single relationship is forever. Sometimes people are there specifically for a season. And once that season is over, So is that time with them. And it's not to be harsh, it's not to be unreasonable, but there come those times where not everybody is going to share in your experiences, share in your point of view, share in the way that you choose to live your life. And again, we have to be okay within ourselves to say, this is who I am. And this is the type of person that I am. And to know that, guess what? I'm going on with my life, whether or not this person wants to agree with staying before and with me, or if they want to go on and move in a different direction. Guess what? I still have to live with me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So if I'm okay with me and they're not, I'll just keep it moving. I will continue to proceed with my life and not be so caught up that I have to feel like, oh, I got to please this person. Oh, they didn't like what I did. So, okay, I need to move in this direction. Be okay with you. Because when it comes down to it, you're the person. You are the individual that you have to see. That's the thing. Sometimes we don't accept who we are. And if we haven't accepted who we personally are, then we need to, again, scrutinize and analyze ourselves and say, okay, what's not right? What is something about me that's just standing there that I don't like, or I can't get behind? Because if we can't agree within ourselves, how are we expecting other people to agree with us, to want to go with us, to recognize us and say, you know what? That's the type of person I can spend time with. That's the type of person I can share with. That's the type of person I can get behind. But we don't even support the things that we do ourselves. So when we find out that's true about us, then we really need to start making some change. We need to really just, okay, you know what? I'm done being this type of person. I'm done being, and here are just some examples. I'm done being late all the time. I'm done just sitting in the crowd, hearing stuff I know I don't want to hear, and staying and remaining in those conversations. I'm tired of being the one who always wants to gossip, either hear it or spread it. I don't want to be that person who just has no backbone, no spine, just anything that people say, okay, I'll just do it. Why? Because when we're doing all those things, we're destroying and we're annihilating our own self-worth, because we're dependent upon the way that people see us. And a lot of people won't honestly say this, but their attraction to social media is that they want to get a whole bunch of people to say that I like what you did, I like what you shared, I like what you showed. They want that public acceptance because there's not enough in them to stand up on their own and say, hello world, here I am, this is the type of person that I am, and I'm okay with me. They instead are looking for approval, honestly, in many cases, from people they don't even know. Because I can honestly say that I have not had relationships with everybody that I'm connected to on Facebook. Some I can recognize by name. Others, it's like they seem familiar. I kind of remember them. But looking for that social acceptance, looking for people to say, hey, I like what you did. To kind of booster and bolster who we are. But we need to be okay with ourselves. We need to be okay within ourselves, so that we can literally cut through life. If we're not so dependent upon the acceptance of others, do you know how fast we can start working through these things? You know why? Because we're not looking for other people's approval. We're trying to make sure that we're able to stand up and be okay with what we've done, what we're doing, and ourselves progressing and moving forward. So please take a microscope out and take an inward look. Look at yourself and be honest, be real with yourself, and just be like, self, we got some changes to make because I don't like the person that I am. Or self, we're in a good place because I like me some me. We are doing a good job. Let's keep doing what we're doing and make sure that we're protecting ourselves so that we can stay in this lane that we're going in and just continue to move forward. So know who you are. If you're okay with you, keep it moving. If you're not, make changes where you need to. But the main thing is maintain and grow. Maintain and grow. Because you're not just supposed to just cakewalk through life and just be like, ooh, feel like you're slipping and sliding just to make it. There's always room for growth. There's always room for development. But just make sure you are content with where you are going. And again, if not, make the changes where they need to be made. Because people will respond positively to the consistency. All right. So how do you want to be known? You choose, you decide. And with that, we're going to come to the end of this edition of Father's Talk. Let me also, again, I want to thank anyone who sees this. Thank you all. Thank you all to anyone who has purchased the book, I Am Not a Monster, written a review. Thank you. Thank you. Really, sincerely. Thank you. I do not take it lightly. And I just want to encourage you, if you haven't purchased it, get it. It's not only a children's book, a book that's good for kids. It's a book that's good for adults. It is a children's book. It's 40 pages, half are illustrated, but just want you to be encouraged by it because the life lessons that are in it are good for anybody at any age. And just want to encourage you all, read it. It's a good read. It's a good read. So again, to all those who have, to all those that will, thank you. Sincerely, thank you. And if you haven't, go ahead, get yours. It's a good read. It's a good book. And so it's available through a lot of different mediums as far as making the purchase. If you go, I think if you type up the name of the book, it'll come up with a long list of different ways that it can be purchased. So just want to encourage those, if you want to get it, go ahead and do so. But again, you guys stay encouraged, stay focused, love you some you. Do something nice for yourself this weekend and enjoy it. Make sure it's something that's just for you. You can sit back and say, yeah, that was worth it. Why? Because you're worth it. So love you guys. Looking forward to seeing you next time. Hopefully you enjoyed our time here on this stream. But we're just going to continue to encourage, build up. And this has been Father's Talk. I'll see you guys next time. Enjoy your weekend. Bye.